there's an element to style, right? There's like an element of style to it, right? When you're watching NBA players, how they dress coming into games, walking down the
Right, right,
tunnel,
right, right.
being super into hip hop, right? Like all of these things kind of shaped how I viewed that as like a way to express yourself. And from a
Mm-hmm.
young age, I was really into like
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Defying Podcast. Today, I have my very best friend in the world, former D1 basketball player, current writer, author, stylist, Jabari Sandifer. What's going on, my brother? How are you?
doing wonderful. How are you?
Another day, man, another day. Can't complain. I'm alive,
Absolutely.
living, smiling, breathing. So that's all we can ask for.
Sure is.
Jabari, I brought you on today because I know you are very big in the fashion world, as at least in the Chicagoland area, but I think kind of almost everywhere, you know. And me, I'm a newbie. I don't know anything about fashion. I'm horribly dressed, but I know someone like you. It's true. It's true. Someone like you know, who is very well skilled in the, which I find in like an art form, you know, of how styles, dressing, you know, how to complete an outfit the right way. You know, I don't know how that world works, but there's an entire market for it. So if you could just briefly, explain. Sorry, I just got a weird message. Briefly, kind of just go over what you do for a living.
Yeah. Um, so kind of rewinding a little bit, I started off by
Yeah.
doing when I first got into college. When I was in college, like you said, I played basketball, got hurt, and was like, okay, I'm probably not going to go play pro. Um, and I had to figure out something else I wanted to do. I'd always kind of been into clothes, and
Mm-hmm.
I started doing some more research on like what a career path could look like in fashion. Um, and everywhere I researched, it kind of said to uh to work in retail, to work in a store like like Abercrombie or Banana Republic, or start on the
Yeah.
retail spot because you can understand customers better, which makes sense.
Okay.
And then kind of work your way up from
Yeah.
there. There's so many different directions you can go into merchandising, all that stuff. And when I was in college, I considered taking a minor in fashion merchandising, but I didn't want that many credits my senior year. So I was like, I'm just going to do my business. I'm going to do my business degree, do that. When I got out of college, I started working in retail. My first job was at Bonobos, which is, I would say, a pretty big chain now. Before they got bought up by Walmart, I was working there long time ago, and on the side, I was kind of
Yeah.
doing like makeshift fashion shoots with LaSalle, mutual friend of ours, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we were kind of just like trying to find models to, put together a portfolio of our work to put it out into the world. Um, at that point, I really wanted to be a stylist, more on the editorial side. So like what you would see in magazines like GQ or Vanity Fair, stuff like that, right? That's there's stylists
Mm-hmm.
behind those covers and those ads in there from the brands. So that was something I really wanted to do. And I got signed to an agency a couple years after kind of getting started doing that, um, and did some freelance work throughout Chicago. So it was fine. And from there, I started to post on the internet, uh, and it kind of just started growing from there. Um, and now I work more with like personal clients one on one, and then I work with brands on like the content stuff, and starting to do a bit of consulting with other brands on what's like cool, I guess.
Yeah, no. I was just about to say your Instagram, your social media is really blowing up. I've noticed a huge incline in the content, one, the quality of the content, two, and the amount of like engagement you're getting on Instagram and other forms of social media. So I noticed that, and it kind of in a way motivated me too to really start up my situation as well. But on the caveat to that, it's really interesting because when you see someone's passion, when you see someone's love for something grow like naturally, it's really exciting to see. And I'm a super curious person, so I'm always like thinking like, where did this come from? Like, where did it come about? And me, I obviously we're best friends, so I've seen the journey from when we're young to older, and you were always into fashion. Maybe not this like intensely. However, I do recall when we were kids, you were always making sure everyone's dressed nice. Like, yo, that doesn't go together. Put these shoes on. That's better this way. Or, you've always had that interest in your head. So where do you think that came from? Is there something that like that inspired that creative spark in you, or
Uh,
is it just natural, you
I
think?
don't know, man. I've always been kind of drawn to the culture around fashion, I guess. Like growing up playing
Mm-hmm.
basketball, there's an element to style, right? There's like an element of style to it, right? When you're watching NBA players, how they dress coming into games, walking down the
Right, right,
tunnel,
right, right.
being super into hip hop, right? Like all of these things kind of shaped how I viewed that as like a way to express yourself. And from a
Mm-hmm.
young age, I was really into like brands, like graphic t-shirts, streetwear. I like skateboarding. I didn't skate, but like I was interested in the culture, and
Yeah.
like fashion is such a big thing around all of those things. And I think that's where my interest started. And it started with sneakers, right? Like I said, I play basketball. So I always wanted the
Mm-hmm.
best sneakers, as like most kids that play basketball do. One of the coolest ones. And honestly, I think that's where it started from. Like I just always wanted to I just took an interest in it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think
Okay. Yeah.
reflecting on it over the past couple of years, which I have, a lot of people in my family, cared about how they looked, like older men dressed up, right? And that was like the way that they
Mm-hmm.
grew up. Um, and my dad worked in construction, like he always wore Carhartt jackets, and he
Yeah.
bought me one when I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
younger. And those are things that just like have stuck with me ever since. Just kind of like planting seeds in me to kind of get to where I am right now, I guess. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think it just became. I guess I don't, but I think it just came from basketball. You know what I mean? Like, and wanting to
That's where it initiated from.
have
Yeah.
the coolest gear. You know what I mean? And it kind of
Mm-hmm.
translated into now into like more. It's more expanded, right? But I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah. No, that's super cool because something that something that transpires from a sport that you love into now a career that you love, and it's all connected, right? You like you're saying how you see the basketball players coming in before the game, how they dress is kind of their mindset into the game is like look good, play good,
Mhm.
sort of the vibe there, right? And then for you at such a young age, you're now absorbing that and then taking it a step further into your daily life, not just game day. It's like every single day you want to dress good, um, because you do generally care about. And it's interesting because, as you know, I've always been going to England every year, and in England the culture is a little bit different than America. In America, we bum around, we literally wear pajamas to the grocery store and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But in the UK, that's not a thing. Like people do it, but it's not very common at all whatsoever. Everyone's always dressed well, dressed nicely, even if you're just going out for something real quick. So I think over there is just a little bit more natural. Where in America, we're not suited for that, especially at a younger age. People just kind of dress however and go. But you've never really been like that. You've always, even if you were dressed in bummy clothes, quote unquote, it's always something like you want to look fly while doing it, which is really hard to do, honestly. For you, I think it's really simple, but I wear so simple outfits all the time because to put on something so like significant is very complicated in my head. But I know for you, it's super simple. So would you find that you have like a what not like a photographic memory, but I forget the term for it, where people can see color patterns.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I wouldn't say it's anything like that. I just,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I think a big part of personal style and like growing it is knowing what you like, right? I've,
Mm.
and
Okay.
it's like a process, I look back on old outfits sometimes and I'm like, that is terrible. Like, well, I would never wear that right now. Stuff I wore years and years ago.
How
Even
often
probably
is
five
that
years ago.
like?
Um,
Oh, okay. This is like years, not like oh 2 weeks ago that was
no,
trash,
like
like
I feel like I'm at
something
a
like that.
place
No,
right
no, no.
now
Okay.
to where like I really know what I like and what
Mm-hmm.
works for me and like my body type and my lifestyle, right? Like what I do day to day.
Right.
An important thing for me is comfort and also still looking put together. So I think if you can find that balance, that's the key. And obviously having the right pieces uh plays a big role in that. You know what I mean? It's like I'm lucky
Mm-hmm.
enough with what I do. I get sent stuff from brands, so I get to try out a lot of product. And incorporate it into what I wear. You know, sometimes stuff doesn't work out, sometimes it does. Um, but it's come through a lot of trial and error, honestly. Like to get to a point where I'm at now, and to a point where I'm able to help people because I've been through it. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and to your point earlier about looking presentable in the world, that's a big thing for me too. You know, they like to your
Mm-hmm.
point, they do it a lot in Europe. Like, you know, when you're in Paris or something, like people aren't going to be walking around wearing sweatpants, or if they do, it's going to be
No,
elevated in a
never.
way. Um,
Yeah.
so I take that with me now. Like, you're not going to catch me too often, you know, looking very unput together. Even,
Looking crazy.
yeah, even when I go to
Looking
the gym,
crazy.
it's just like, I don't know. I think that the fact that I've developed a brand around what I wear, I really consider it a lot more now too, even, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, can't be caught lacking out here. You're like, oh, ain't that boring? Rocking. I thought that's fashion, dude. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, no, 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 for sure. I just wanted to take the time out to thank our new sponsors, We Hate Clubs. We Hate Clubs is a brand which was developed with the idea that people should live outside of their comfortable spaces. Leaning into music, art, photography, parties, and fashion, We Hate Clubs is built to function as something greater than oneself. Make sure to follow We Hate Clubs on Instagram if you're in the Chicagoland area. Now back to the show. Just when you were talking, I was thinking, what is the secret to a good? I know you're saying there's a lot of personalization to it,
Mhm.
but is there something generic around putting together a nice outfit that anyone could, you know, do on
Yeah,
a
it's like
daily
some,
basis? Something simple that's not too complicated. Because I don't. For me, I mean, I generally just wear like all black. Like I stick to one. Like I probably wear like some G Fazos, which is white Air Force Ones, and
yeah.
like black jeans and a black shirt. Like that's something like that's an outfit that you catch me, or like blue jeans with some Adidas shoes. What's the ones you were with me when
The
you like
Sambas.
told me to buy this? The Sambas, yeah, exactly. Sambas, blue jeans, and like I don't
Hmm.
know any color T-shirt with like probably a black shirt, something like that. So
I think
that's how for me that's super simple. So if someone else maybe, yeah.
I think a big part of it is how things fit you. You know, like people have different, you know,
Mm,
we're different heights, right? So like
yeah.
for one, having a
Don't remind me.
that's not what I meant though, but like having
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
having a tailor is a really useful thing, right? That's probably
Mm,
the number one thing that people don't invest in. And all things considered, it's not even that big of an investment. People don't realize that going to a tailor can be very cheap. You know, it's as simple as a $10 hem to your pants that can really change how all of your clothes look and how you feel in them. Um, and
okay.
and also like again being comfortable, right? Like if you're, for example, say you're wearing super skinny jeans, like inherently they're not comfortable. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's like having a straight leg jean as opposed to that. Like it's you're gonna be more willing to put it on if you're gonna feel comfortable in it. Like I have clothes that I don't wear all the time because I'm like I don't want to feel like this right now. I want to feel like I'm just moving through the world. Like I forget my clothes, right? That's like the goal. I
Mm-hmm.
forget that I'm wearing something. Like I don't have to think about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
guess for like practical advice though, it's like finding those things, right? It's again, it comes through trial and error. Obviously, I help people with it, but it's like what do you feel the best in, and what can you put on at any point and feel comfortable? I think that's the key, because it's all
Mm.
confidence at the end of the day, you know, and that
Mm-hmm.
that confidence can really sell an outfit, even if it's not the best. If that makes sense. I don't know.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense because whenever I travel and you see how people speaking of like Paris, I went to Paris once before, and the way people dressed really like fucked with my head because everyone dressed so good. Like, and it wasn't like these crazy like expensive clothes that they
Mhm.
were wearing. There was like homeless people that looked good.
Mhm.
And I'm not even joking. Like I'm serious. Like there was people they just dressed, they just look so nice. It seems so effortless. Whereas for me, that's so it's so complicated for me. But I don't I'm trying to like get
Yeah.
understand like the process. But having a tailor, like you're saying, is can make all the difference. And do you tailor like every pair of pants or jeans that you own, shorts, everything, or
Not
is it
not
just things
everything.
that don't fit you?
It's things that don't fit me how I want them to. Like
Okay.
I guess for me, I'm lucky that I'm like sample size for a lot of things, right? It's like
Mm.
like a medium. You know what I'm saying? Like a 32, 32. Like these are like
Mm.
a 40 regular jacket size. Like these are like very common sizes that people make often. So like people make clothes for my body type, and I'm lucky about that. But I
Okay.
still do like if I buy something secondhand or I thrift something, I'm gonna make sure that it fits me because I want to wear it. You know what I mean? Even if it's not perfect, you can make it perfect. And even something off the rack, you can kind of think about that the same way. If I
Mm-hmm.
go to Uniqlo, I go to Buck Mason, I go to Abercrombie, whatever you go, even if it doesn't fit you when you try it on in the store, you can make it fit you better as long as it's close enough. You know? Uh,
Like what manipulate like you talking like dry like put it in the dryer or something like
no,
that
no, I
or
wouldn't. I
how
wouldn't. I'm saying go to
no?
it as in going to a tailor, right? It's like,
I see, I see, I
yeah.
see, I see. Okay,
So
okay.
like, and I always err on the side of getting something bigger as opposed to smaller because obviously you can't add fabric to something, but you can take it away. So like that's kind of the rule of thumb.
Okay.
If you like something doesn't fit you perfectly, you can buy it, take it to a tailor, and they'll make it fit you perfect. You know,
Wow. Even with shirts too.
anything,
Everything.
everything.
Like you're anything. Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
Some tailors are
Okay.
incredible. It's like they can
Again,
almost like create you an
it,
entirely new piece out of something. So
that's
yeah,
crazy. No, getting some game here. Some gems. For me it's the opposite of you. I'm the opposite of you. I'm not sample size. I'm
sure,
like the worst cuz my height, my width, everything I've never in my life bought a pair of jeans off a rack and have it fit me
sure.
well. So I've always had to tailor my pants. But I guess throughout the years, the styles changed. Because I remember in like what 20 when we were in high school, 2014, something
Yeah,
like this.
super skinny jeans.
Um, the skinny jeans was in, so that's what everyone was
Yeah,
rocking. And this was like right after the baggy phase. But now it's coming back. But like I remember we were in middle school and that was the baggy phase.
yeah,
Right when we hit high school was the skinny jean phase. So I remember I'm like, now we got the skinny jeans, but they didn't fit. My the length was fine because you could always roll it up, but the width was I always had to go to the tailor to get the width. So this makes sense, but for me, I've had to do this by force, but I never thought of it. I mean, recently, in the recent when you've told me this off the podcast, of course, but I've always just tailored it, but I didn't tailor it specifically to my body type.
mm,
I just tailored it to like I guess just the waist and then maybe cut off the side, but there's more specific where you do in like the seam. And then
I mean, I would say the waist and the length are you know those are the most
most
common,
important.
and probably the most
Okay.
important. But you can
Mm-hmm.
manipulate the width of the leg too if you'd like. That's a more expensive. It's a more expensive fix. But I
Mm-hmm.
think most of the time you can achieve what you want doing the width, doing your waist and your and the length. Um, but to
Okay.
your point about trends, right? Like I talk
Mm-hmm.
a lot about that on my page. And us being 30, right? I think you get to a point where it's
Yeah.
like you can't try to keep up with everything because it's like for one, it's too expensive, and and two, it's just like that's not how you're gonna create something that feels like yourself. If you keep
Mm-hmm.
buying into trends, you're gonna change your entire wardrobe every year, right? Because stuff moves so quickly, especially with the internet. So I think the important thing is
Okay.
to find, some things that work for you and just wear it into the ground. You know what I mean? Then replace it. It's like that's what the best looking people to me are often like older guys that are like, I'm gonna wear this and I don't really give a fuck what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it can still be nice.
Mm.
But it's like this is stuff that's worked for me for a long time. I've worn it. It has patina. It's faded. It fits me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's those are the coolest people to me. And I personally there's things that I will obviously swap in and out. There's new pieces that I'll fall in love with that I'll buy. But I feel like I'm in like a good flow of like stuff that I love, right? And I think that's the key. Not overthinking it and not trying to be extremely contemporary. You know what I mean?
So is it so you're saying once you find your specific flow, the key is not to change it unless like you or not necessarily to change it unless you want to, but don't keep up with the current fashion trend that's constantly changing.
I,
I don't know how often fashion trends change. I just noticed that I noticed yes, middle school, high school, it changed. I didn't really pay attention the next 7, 8 years because I was just
yeah,
floating around. But now I'm noticing again. I'm really starting to pick up on the baggy clothes again. Everyone's
yeah.
doing this, but maybe it's changing again. Or like now it's kind of like I see the jeans with like the flowers on them and like the or like the wings are on the back and all of this stuff. I'm starting to see that more, but I'm not really into that world so much. But maybe you know a little bit better. But that's what I'm seeing at least more now. But I guess that is younger people too.
Yeah, I mean like
Yeah.
trends are cyclical, right? It's like typically like
Mm-hmm.
5 years you'll see something brand new come. But
Okay.
there's like a happy medium to where it's like you'll never really be like out of style. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
a big thing for me, right? There's like two big things, right? Stay in the middle, right? Don't get too baggy or don't get too skinny. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like you'll
Mm-hmm.
never look out of place if you just do in the middle, like straight leg jeans, like a shirt that fits you, right? All these things are just like, and also avoiding logos, right? That's also a big thing for me
Mm.
because you can't
Okay.
tell. Well, there was a thing called logomania, right? It was a trend in fashion. It was like when you'd see people with like a bunch of like Gucci signs all over their bags, all over their jackets. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we're in a time shifting towards like more minimalism, right? It's like less branding. It's all about how it fits you. It's all about the fabric. It's about um, you know, those are the important things as opposed to what who made it. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
that's a
Yeah.
philosophy that I've probably implemented the past like 5 years. Um, I've cared less about. Granted, I do care about who makes it because certain people make really good stuff, even if you can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you can't tell by looking
Okay.
at it what it is, it's important to me that it's made well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that changes person by person. But I think caring less about the brand and more about how it makes you feel is the goal. You know?
Yeah. Okay. And then going off of that, you're so you're sacrificing, not sacrificing because that's not the right word to use. However, not putting a huge strain on the brand, right?
Yeah.
Because you can find good clothes on Amazon, right? Just an example. I'm not saying that that's like
I'm gonna say avoid Amazon, but I will.
okay, okay,
That's just my opinion. I I
okay,
think stick to the
okay,
classics. You can never go wrong. Levi's, Adidas,
okay.
great for shoes, right? For shoes and workout gear.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. Levi's, Carhartt, all these Dickies, all of these things like these brands that have been around for probably close to a century at this point.
Okay.
They still make really good stuff, and you can't really go wrong going with them. Like there's like these classic brands like like J. Crew, Brooks Brothers, like they make good shirts, right? It's important to go to these places that do the things the right way. You know what I mean? As opposed to like going to
Yeah.
Uniqlo and buying 60 things, right? That's like
Okay.
a way to feel stuck because like you just have this thing from one brand. So it's like knowing who makes really good things. Like again, Levi's makes good jeans. Ralph Lauren only wore Levi's. He didn't even wear his own jeans. That's crazy. You know,
Oh shit.
um, for a reason.
Yeah, I didn't even know Ralph Lauren was an actual person.
That's
I thought
outrageous.
that was just the name of it. Crazy, right? That's how little I know about
No,
fashion.
fair.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a
I
guy.
didn't know
It's a
that.
guy.
Wow.
And
He wore
he
Levi's.
wore
Okay.
Levi's, right? And Ralph Lauren's arguably the best American fashion designer of all time, and probably is.
Oh.
He is. Let me not say he is the best fashion.
Okay.
And he wore Levi's, right? There's like things like it's hard to. You don't have to really go a different direction because like people have already done it. Like every brand that's trying to make jeans is chasing Levi's, right? They're trying to make a jean as good as Levi's, and it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? They already did it. So, um, looking at people who've been around for a long time because they've been around for a long time for a reason. You know what I mean?
I see. I see. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's like they've been in the game for so long. Other people that are new to the scene, maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but you know for a fact this is
Yeah,
good.
and
So
like
why
for
risk
someone
it?
who
Just
doesn't
take what's.
care to like do the digging into new brands, that's what I would say to do. You know what I mean? It's like you
Hmm.
can, I mean, and granted, you can go on Amazon and buy these things, right? They sell Levi's on Amazon,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but that's the route that I would take.
But not like an Amazon brand.
Correct,
Like that's what I was referring
right? And
to.
that's
Not
and that's what
like
I figured. That's
getting.
what I figured. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but sticking with the classics, you can never go wrong. Converse, like all these
Okay.
things, like all these people that have done it for a long time, people still buy it. Vans, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things, like those are
Yeah.
the things
Yeah.
that for someone who doesn't care but cares a little bit, you don't want to do the work, you don't want to pay a stylist. Go with the classics. You look good.
Damn. It's free game right here. All
It's your
right.
game.
I was gonna say someone has $100, or is that too little? $100 for a whole fit.
Yep.
Let's take them to what store are we going to?
Um.
This is in
Yeah.
America, not anywhere in Europe or around the world, but let's see. $100 US, which is like 65 euros, 60 pound. Where are we going?
Uh. So another aspect to my content, I talk a lot about secondhand and
Mm-hmm.
vintage clothes, right? I
Okay.
would say that like 75 to 80% of my wardrobe is vintage, right? So stuff that I found either through and vintage is technically 20 years older, 20 years or older, right?
Vintage, not thrift.
They're
They're
thrifted.
interchangeable,
No, they're
maybe.
not necessarily. Like you can
Okay.
thrift vintage, but vintage is like you can also thrift something that came out 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? But now it's in a
Okay.
Goodwill or another thrift store. Vintage,
So thrift can be vintage. Vintage is
but
not thrift.
correct, I guess. Yes. So
Okay. Okay.
you can
Just wanted to clear that
a
up. All right.
thrift is a place, and it's not a thrift is a. I don't know the dictionary definition of thrift, but I mean it's basically you can go
Mm.
thrifting. It's basically you going to find secondhand clothes, stuff that people have already
Okay.
worn or didn't want and they gave it away. Right? Some stuff isn't worn.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it can still be vintage.
Hmm.
Um, but the dictionary definition for what I understand of vintage is it's 20 years. It's 20 years or more older, right? So what is it?
Okay.
2026. It has to be from 2006 or from
Hmm.
before. Um,
Okay.
and the good thing about that is you can find extremely good clothes because for cheaper, right? Up until the
Oh wow.
90s, a lot of stuff was made in the U.S. In the 90s, we offshored a lot of stuff, and it wasn't just clothes. We offshored a lot of products in general because it was cheaper to make stuff in China, right? Naturally, still is.
Of course. Yeah.
Um, and that's when a lot of the quality went down for brands. But you can find so much of that stuff that was from the 90s to the 20s. You know what I'm saying? That still exists
Hmm.
because it was made so well. And that's like the sweet spot. It's like that's you go look for those things because it's better. They made it better, and it looks cooler, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinion.
Mm.
Um,
And it's not as expensive as something
correct.
that's like
Can
okay.
be, but if you're not as picky as me, you can find some really good stuff for really low prices. But there's
Okay.
extremely, it's like an antique, right? Like an old vintage car. They,
That's what I was just about to
you
say.
know, they
Okay,
can be
okay, yeah.
it can be $300,000, right? But you can also find an
Mm-hmm.
antique car for $10,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Depending on the
right,
condition,
right.
what year it was from, all those things. Same kind of vibe. But $100, right? What I would do,
Yeah, yeah.
I go on eBay, I find a pair of vintage 501 Levi's, $25 to $30.
Okay, okay.
I spend most of my money on sneakers. So let's see, what's a $50 shoe? Everything's more expensive now, so it's tough. Um, like I mean, a pair of
Yeah. So
Vans is
maybe
80
should we up?
bucks.
Fuck. So
Let's do
should
200.
we up the 200? Okay, 200.
150 maybe. I'm gonna try to stay under 150.
All right.
Um,
150.
so I'm gonna say $25 for a pair of Levi's. I found them for under $25 all the time. Really cool ones
Wow,
on eBay.
that's Levi's for
Oh
25?
yeah, easy money. Yeah.
Really? Damn.
I think I bought a pair for $15, bro. Like there's some really, you just have to look, but it's on eBay. Like
And these are vintage as well.
correct, yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Like if you look in like the '90s to
So
like early 2000s, you can find some for that price. Um,
damn, that's I didn't even know that. Okay.
yeah. So look for a pair of
Yeah.
Levi's. And then for a t-shirt, so let's say so we're at $20. Keep my math honest for me, okay? So I'm gonna say $25.
You said 25,
25
so
pair of
we're
jeans.
at 135.
And then I would do a jacket. So I look for an old workwear jacket, right? So like Carhartt, Dickies,
Mm-hmm.
Key Imperial, old J.C. Penney, Kmart, all these old department stores had like cool workwear brands within them, or an old Levi's jacket even. But you could find one of those.
125, sorry. But
Yeah, no worries. You could find that
yeah.
for at max. I guarantee you could find it cheaper than this, but you can find one for $50. That's in good condition. So that's 75
Okay.
bucks. That's half the outfit. Um, and then let's see. You know what? I'm gonna drop it down to 30 because you can find that for $30, so $55. Buy a pair of Converse, which
Shit, I'm a little slow. Let me grab my calculator. I'm a little slow. So the first one was 25.
yeah, 25. And then I'm gonna
So
say you could find
we're at 125,
an old jacket for $30.
$30.
In
All
good
right. So
condition.
now we're at 95.
Okay.
All right.
Then let's see. I would do a Oxford or like a button up. Same thing basically. So like
$30.
you can find those again on eBay or you can go to Uniqlo, probably get one for $30. So I'm gonna say also in $30.
All right.
And then where are we at right now? How much money we got left?
We got 65, and we still got what? Just shoes, yeah.
Yeah, I would just say try to find a pair of discounted Converse, which you can 100% find for under $65, or a pair of like authentic Vans. And hopefully you own a white T-shirt, so I'm not gonna add that one in there, or whoever it would
Yeah.
be. So
Right.
that's a solid
You
outfit.
got to have a white tee already.
That's a solid outfit, but make sure these all things fit. Like, and
Yeah.
again, if you get it off eBay or secondhand, you could take it to a tailor, and it could look like you bought it from the store, just for yourself. You know,
Mm.
an
Okay.
extra $50 to go
That's
to the
not
tailor.
bad.
You know, I don't know, so something like that.
I don't know. That's not bad. Especially knowing that there are options available. Like, you don't need to buy brand new clothes
Absolutely not.
from
The best
the
ones
store. You
aren't.
can just get it secondhand.
Yeah.
And they're better. It's cheaper and better, right?
Yep.
It has a little style to it, a little swagger. You're kind of carrying the energy of the person who brought it before you. If they were,
Hopefully,
they had a
hopefully good energy, but
hopefully good energy. It wasn't like some serial killer,
Right.
some shit like that. But all right, so we got that there. That's pretty damn good. That's not a bad, and you have a good fit that you can mix and match for what, the next 20 years,
100%.
right?
And
'Cause
honestly,
it's good quality.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And just like rebuy the same stuff in different colors, and like you're good. You know?
Damn, that actually, when you explain it that way, makes it kind of dumbs it down.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem too hard, but for me, I don't know. I can't. I guess I can take that approach now,
Mm.
going forward. Now that I think about it, because I do have a couple of Levi jeans, and I have a tailor that I live near, and I do go. He's quite expensive, but I do a lot though. I have to change the waist,
Yeah.
the because I buy like whatever, just any size, and then which I should probably get it closer to my size, but whatever.
And the thing to that
Well,
point, the thing is with
mm,
about older clothes, right? People were smaller, right? So it's like as someone with very long
mm,
limbs, it's actually hard for me to shop vintage sometimes because people didn't have arms as long as mine often. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's
okay,
like
yeah.
if you're shorter or you have shorter arms, whatever, vintage is a great place to look because a lot of stuff will fit you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Oh, there you go. That's a lot of history.
Gotcha, bro. Yep.
And who are any like specific influences, like people that you have to like look at fashion that someone could look at right now and just, pick their, not necessarily talk to them specifically, but like just look at how they're dressed and kind of like implement a style similar to theirs outside of yourself, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say me. I'm just kidding. Uh,
hey,
Ralph Lauren, like I mentioned before, like Ralph's great. Like
is he alive?
yeah, old, very old, but he's alive. He's in his late. I think
Wow.
he's in his
I'm a
early
goofy,
mid
yeah.
80s, something like that.
Oh, I'm a
But he's
goofy
alive.
though. Okay.
Just put out a really good show. Um, Specific people. I like looking at historical figures. Like, I mean, like obviously Ralph's not. He's still alive, but Ralph's a good one. Miles
Mm-hmm.
Davis, Malcolm X,
There we go.
uh,
Malcolm X.
Fly, bro. He was Fly. Muhammad Ali.
He was swagging like
Yeah,
that.
bro. Muhammad Ali, Fly.
That's good. Malcolm X is literally my
There you go. He looked
my
great all the
screensaver on
time,
my
bro. He's
phone.
always in a suit. Looked sick. Full jacket.
Now I think about it, Red did have some swag even
He's Fly.
even when he was red. You know what I'm saying?
He was
Damn,
Fly.
that's crazy. I didn't think about
Um,
that. Okay.
uh, Bob Marley, top for me. I love how Bob Marley
Bob
looked.
Marley.
He looked so cool. Lenny Kravitz, a little out there, but he looked cool. Um, who else? A lot of people say Paul Newman. You know, uh,
Paul Newman.
yeah,
Like the old cowboy
yeah,
style. Yeah.
old actor. He was more like
Okay.
Americana, like waspy East Coast kind of shit, stuff
Mm.
like that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
those are some ones I would say. And then also like in hip hop, like shit, like who early like Denzel, shit, dude. When Denzel was younger, fly, gosh,
Denzel who?
Washington.
You said hip hop.
I know I changed it to Denzel, but Denzel he looked
Okay.
so cool when he was younger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then Tupac, I love Tupac. It's very
Okay.
fly.
Okay.
Those are like
Okay.
off the top of my head. Those are the ones that I would say though.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Well, no, that sounds good, brother. I know we're running short on time here. I appreciate you coming in. Where can people find you? Because I know you have a whole lot of catalogs. I mean, you write, you're an author, so you have that there, and then you're also a stylist, so people can definitely reach out to you if they have trouble figuring out their style, what works for them. So, just tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Jabari Sandifer. No spaces, no dashes, no dots, just my name. My Substack is called Where Your Pants Break. I kind of dive deeper into the stuff that I talk about on Instagram and TikTok. Give like specific suggestions, stuff like that. And if you're based in
Hmm.
Chicago or ever visit Chicago, I do a vintage menswear curation kind of event. Next one's on April 4th. I'm gonna try to do them
April
quarterly
4th.
coming up here, but that's the next one it's in 3 weeks, I think. And then
Hmm.
where else? That's it. Yeah, or if you personal styling, links in my bio on my IG. So
All right,
that's it.
there we go. There we go. All right, brother. Well, thank you, Jabari. I'm definitely gonna want to have you on again to pick your brain on like and go a little bit deeper
Sure.
into more fashion because I know you know a lot of the history and everything, just a little bit stuff like that. So, all right, brother. Well, I appreciate
Of
you
course.
and thank you for coming on. Oh, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow our Instagram, our YouTube channel, and then Jabari's here too. So go ahead and give him a follow. Any questions, just DM him. All right. Have a good day, guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Zdravo.
Hello, wie geht's?
Buongiorno.
Hello, how are you?
Olá, tudo bem?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Preply. Preply is an online language learning marketplace connecting tutors to hundreds of thousands of learners in over 180 countries worldwide. More than 35,000 teachers teach over 50 languages, powered by a machine learning algorithm that recommends the best tutors for each learner. Hit the link in the description box for access to 30% off your very first language lesson. That is 30% off your very first language lesson. Thank you, Preply. Now back to the show.